Right. Now, good morning. Welcome to the Love Seat.
I'm so glad you said that. I watched all your videos. You said it to everybody, and I thought I'm going to feel so. I'm going to get FOMO or something if you didn't say that to me.
This is the Love Seat. Now,
Fantastic.
tell me a little bit about your hair. Let's start with the haircut first.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you like? What do you dislike?
Okay, so I haven't had it cut now since probably end of February.
Okay.
So it's not fast growing, my hair. But this is the longest I've ever had it.
Right. Do you like the length?
I do, to be
Okay.
honest, because what's happened in the past is because of its thin hair, people tend to chop it up into like a bob.
Right.
And trouble is, I end up with a square
Agree.
box, and then I've got quite broad shoulders, so I end up with a box sitting on a box.
So it's funny you said that, because actually on the weekend I did a live where we spoke about, how to make shapes flattering. And I actually spoke to one of my clients about it.
Oh, okay.
And if you have, obviously, if you do a bob, if you want to enhance someone's curves, you give them a bob, because it makes the shoulders wider, it makes the hips wider.
Yeah.
So that instantly it does, it widens you up. Okay.
Yeah. Today I washed it in a shampoo which I wouldn't normally wash it in, and it has gone even finer and thinner
Right.
than it would have done.
Okay.
With it. But I just sometimes I manage to get like a little bit of a kink and a little bit, of a sort of bit of a wave in it, and so I do like it longer. I just wish there was. I love my hair. I just wish I had twice the amount of it. That's the problem. I love the sort of the blondie bits at either blonde or grey bits at the front. Back is dreadful. The back is the bane of my life because the back is just so flat.
Right.
But
So I definitely think with them. So obviously this is the first time we've actually met in person. So
Yeah,
I've
of
seen the
course.
photos you sent in, and now these words very seldomly come out of my mouth, but I actually quite like your colouring.
oh,
Which
okay.
is that people who know me know I'm not a white hair fan.
Yeah.
Like every opportunity I get, I cover it. But on you, it really works. It works on the skin tone. It works on the eyes. I think if you had everything that white, I think that may wash you out a little bit.
Yeah,
but the
I
fact that
agree.
you still have darkness in between actually grounds the color a lot more. So at the moment, I think your color looks really good, like really, really, really.
Good,
We're going to tweak it a little bit,
Yeah, of course.
but with your color, I'm not envisioning a massive change.
Oh, that's wonderful, because
And
actually I really like a natural look. I like it where you look like you've been in the sun and it's bleached it a bit, which is what happens with mine. And it's funny because in the winter it sort of tends to be grey, and in the sun it goes a bit blonder. And I do like the. I know the back is terrible. The back is so dark. The back doesn't
So
really
what
have
we're going to
much
do,
in.
so we'll come to the haircut in a second. For your color, what I'm envisioning is I'm not going to touch that.
Oh,
I
fantastic.
think that needs to stay. What we're going to do is we're actually going to color you with very classic baby light underneath your parting.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring the color with a lighter and darker bits underneath to the root. And what that's going to do is going to help you with volume.
Brilliant. That sounds amazing.
But on the whole, when people look at you, it's never going to look like you've had your hair colored. What it will do is it'll give you a little bit more of a lift
Fantastic.
through the hair.
Yeah.
And then through the back of the hair, from the crown down, here, I'll twist you around.
Yeah.
So people can see that's quite dark. So what we're going to do is then go in there, and we will do a lot more classic balayage, classic highlights, very, very fine in that, and then balayage some of your ends out so that it looks a little bit, so we bring the front and the back together. But again, this is something it's more enhancing volume than actually changing color.
Yeah, that's
lovely.
lovely.
Where we will go to, because
That's lovely.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
Oh, I'm delighted. Because I was sort of, I sort of fluctuate between like, I'm so excited to go, and then the other time I'm like, oh my God, the nerves would kick in, and I'm like, and one thing I don't like is I don't like that sort of yellowy blonde or anything. And I was like, no,
skin is
please,
not the right colour.
yeah, don't. I was
Especially
really
with your eye
hoping.
color as well. So we always say in the hairdressing world, I look at a few things. I look at something called chroma, which means how much red do you have in the skin?
Yeah.
Is it only, let's say, in the cheeks, or is it all over?
Yeah.
Then we look at eye color, we look at eyebrows, and then we look at general skin tone.
Yeah.
So if your skin tone is very golden and your eye color is cool, your hair can be either warm or cool.
Yeah.
But if your skin is cool and your eye color is cool, generally the hair should be on the warmer side, because two of the same works very well.
Yeah.
But if it's all three the same, like if you've got warm skin, warm eyes, warm hair, it becomes...
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, I can understand.
Some people do have that naturally and it works, but generally an artificial color, that's what we want to go to. So that's what we'll do. And I also don't think you need a lot of color. We'll just do a little bit here and there, enhance it. Now, the haircut...
Yeah, obviously it does need a really good haircut.
Yes. So what I'll do is once we finish, I'll take the with the camera around so people at home can see. So I'll give you, well, I'll hold this up for you. I might actually do that. Flick you around. Okay. And I'll give you that to hold there so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can now. Yeah.
Now, what's happening with your hair is you've got, they've given you a one-length haircut, but when I pick this crown up, they've given you a lot of short layers that sits there. Now, that's actually, from there to there, is actually a very long distance.
Yes, it is.
Especially for someone who's got your texture hair. Because what they've done is they've given you one length, and then they've picked this hair up, and they've cut it there, and then make it drop. So in conventional hairdressing, that's what we call square layering. And square layering is technically the worst thing you can do on any hair. Because what it does, that gap, is what we call disconnection.
I was going to say, does it almost make a shelf in your hair? I never realised that until you've pointed that out.
And what that will do, hairdressers think that is what creates volume, but it doesn't.
No, because your hair goes in.
But there's no support from underneath.
Yeah,
now
absolutely.
To get that corrected is going to take us a long time.
Yeah, of course.
Just because the ideal thing is to go shorter, but I don't think shorter hairstyles where I want to go with you anyway.
No.
But we can, in the process, start working with it, getting it better,
of course,
better,
I'm with
better.
you. Yeah.
So one of the first things, so let me have a quick look.
Because that's why I think I had that thing that I thought, that's obviously where I think a lot of people just want to cut it there because of where those layers are.
Yeah.
With it.
But the same thing, so what's happening is, so in the back, this is cut shorter.
Yeah.
And then I can actually see, when I hold the bottom, I can lift out the layers, and it goes from shorter into longer in the front.
Right.
Now, how hair works is, shorter hair pushes longer hair in the direction the hair is going to go. So, for example, shorter in the back, longer in the front, the hair comes forward.
Yeah.
Shorter in the front, longer in the back, the hair comes backward. And that's not me saying it, that's just science.
Yeah.
And what happens, they cut your hair here short, and then it goes longer to there, which makes this part here very, very heavy, but it makes the corners here extremely overlayered. You can actually see when I lift that up to that.
Yeah.
So it makes your hair bottom thinner.
I can see that, yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to reverse that. We actually want to give you something a little bit shorter in the front. Now, facially, when I look at you, you are square, face shape-wise.
Yes.
So there's a few things with square you want to not do. You don't necessarily want to have too much volume here, because otherwise it makes you, and you don't want to block you up there. So if I block you up there, it makes you a smaller square.
Yeah.
So a little bit of length works well, and a little bit of definition through the front works well. So the front bits, that can definitely be a little bit shorter.
Yes.
But then what we'll do is we need to round this shape off. So you probably need to take that off.
Oh, do you know, I mean, take even a bit more if you want. Do you know what I mean? I just didn't want it like really super short. But I don't mind like a bit more, whatever. One thing I wanted to avoid, and again, you picked up on that really well, was I know that it sort of needs a bit of definite, a bit of shape, a bit of round here, but I was a bit worried that you end up with like, we used to call them curtains, didn't we? Where there was like too much.
Yes.
But like you said, just that little.
You almost want to take, if you take the hair like this, you lift it through.
Yes.
And it just has that little bit of...
that's exactly it, which is lovely, isn't it?
It instantly opens you up.
Yes.
So with the centre parting on you can work well. So what we want to do is basically, we want to soften this area here.
Yes.
And we want to soften this area here on your face shape. Yeah. So what we want to do is take that, it brings the hair in. So what it instantly does, it pulls the eye up, so it elongates the face. So I've
Yeah,
gone
you can
square
see
as
that.
well.
I can see that
So
already.
you want to, for me, you want to, that's why I have volume here, and I've got height, volume there, because it softens.
Softens, yeah,
So
I can
the
actually,
same thing.
yeah,
And
completely.
then once we get that little bit of layer in
Yes.
there, instantly it will make the shape, it will transform the shape a lot more.
Yeah. And also, I'd really like to talk to you about, sort of using, what I should be using on my hair, what shampoo, what products and things with it.
So I can definitely, so I always say to people, I know people say I go on about this, you have to be silicone free.
Yes.
Silicone free,
Yeah,
dimethicone, trimethicone, all this. Even a lot of companies that say they are natural still use silicone, because silicone can be produced in a natural way. Yeah. But what it does, it coats the hair.
I think I am silicone free. I think.
That will be fantastic.
On what I'm using at the moment.
So of our range, I definitely think you would be a number one. So our volumizing shampoo, and maybe even the volumizing conditioner.
Yeah.
Either that or the balancing shampoo, but definitely the volumizing conditioner on the mid-lengths and ends. That will work really, really well. Okay. And I think the thing that probably will be how old are you, if I may ask?
65.
65. Did you find when you went through the changes that your hair texture changed?
Yeah, I suppose it did.
It did?
Yeah. I mean, I've never had super thick hair or anything at all. But yeah, I did. And I think, because years ago, I always used to have like highlights and things, and it did make it firmer and stiffer. But then I think, when I started going through the change, I sort of stopped doing that because I think my hair just didn't feel like it could take it so much. Yeah, with it.
So I would definitely say, for me, the most important thing with hair care is the elixir, our hair and scalp elixir. It's specifically designed to go onto the scalp and onto the hair. Yeah. It stimulates growth. It removes all inflammation from the scalp, and it's fantastic for your hair. So actually, one of my clients yesterday, she's been using it for the last 6 weeks, and her hair in 6 weeks' time is transformed. And on fine hair, a lot of people stay clear of treatments because with finer hair, they feel that it will weigh the hair down. This does not. It's back with rice water. It's really great for the hair.
Oh, fantastic.
And I think keeping it simple is a lot easier. For styling, I would recommend something like, and we'll use it in your hair today, it's called the Perfect Setting from Wella. Yeah. And you can spray it in wet hair or dry hair. Yeah. And it doesn't make the hair sticky, but it gives a lot of natural lift and volume.
That sounds lovely.
That's all you need.
Yeah. I prefer it as well, and I prefer not to use a hairdryer, and I can just let it dry naturally, or you know, outside in the garden when it's windy.
We'll give it you'll experience today. We're going to do all of that for you. And we can see what like. Well, let's get cracking.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much.